Brought to you by
Go come Russia Zam 40 सालले जितेछन् FIFA World Cup हेर्न जाने मौका Go come Russia Zam
Good evening, namaste and welcome. You're watching Himalaya Television and watching the show Coca-Cola, the evening show at 6. I'm Sadiksha and like every week, I'm in front of your TV sets and I have two guests with me tonight. They're brothers, they're entrepreneurs, they have hotels, they have a chain of hotels. They are starting with properties, a real estate company, and they also have chocolates, which I am most interested in. So today we'll be talking to Akash and Vivek and we'll see what their journey has been like after they've come back to Nepal. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi, Sidiksha. Thank you.
So tapaiharu were, for most part of your childhood, tapaiharu, you were living abroad, you know? First in Malaysia, then you guys were studying in Australia. So baira bastakheriko ramailoko barema bata suru garum. How was it like, let's say, growing away from Nepal?
Yeah, I think well, we moved when we were very young. So at around 6 years of age is when we moved. It was exciting, but when you're a kid, you don't really know what the difference is.
Right.
But Malaysia was our second home in a sense. We lived there for around 12, 13 years.
Wow.
It was exciting because it was different from Nepal. We missed a lot of the family here all the time. We used to constantly visit every now and then.
Okay.
But yeah, we still felt Nepal, we had to come back and we still miss Nepal a lot. But Malaysia was exciting because it was our teenage years, our childhood.
Right.
So I think it was a different culture too, completely different from Nepal. So it was exciting, I think. Very exciting, yeah.
So Akash already said that, you know, you always felt like you missed Nepal, you missed a lot of family members here and wanted to come back in a sense. And Vivek being the older brother, although you finished with your studies paila and then you decided to come back to Nepal. So tapaile jab Nepal फर्किन्छु भने decide गर्नु भयो आफ्नो parents लाई भन्नु भयो or family members, and how did they react? Did they say अहा जानु पर्दैन नेपालमा हुन्छ नि केही हुँदैन तिम्रो यही बसेर काम गर भन्नु भयो कि were they supportive enough to let their son, elder son, actually go back to Nepal and work?
Yeah. And I think मेरो family they've been supportive in pretty much everything we've decided to do. So they were fully behind us in this. म फिर्ता आउँछु भन्नुको पछाडी चाहिँ we grew up outside. We're always called you know, we're Nepali passport थियो Nepali, but we visits लाई आइन्थ्यो म वर्षमा एकचोटि आइन्थ्यो हैन. So we never really understood नेपाली हुनु भने के थियो, what is Nepal like हैन. So I think पढाइ सढाइ सकाएपछि चाहिँ अब के गर्ने त भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ ल अब let's find out who I am. अलिकति soul searching भन्छन् नि.
Okay.
So came back in a little bit of a हैन what does it mean to be a Nepali, what is Nepal like भन्ने जस्तो उसबाट चाहिँ I came back and everyone was behind it. Whole family was behind it.
So how do you did political science, right? And so political science गरिसकेपछि, like I was talking to the viewers, तपाईहरु you have a chain of hotels. Now you're starting with properties, chocolates, so many diverse business, none related to political science what you studied and journalism what you studied, you know. So कसरी सुरुवात भयो this entrepreneur journey?
Yeah. हामी चाहिँ traditionally a जागिरी family यहाँ हैन, अब education based जागिरी family. So यहाँ आउँदाखेरि सुरुमा अब political science पढेर आयो, अब INGO मा काम गरेर उसमा काम गरेर हैन, अलिकति research काम पनि गरि मैले. So I had a few of those opportunities. That I think what really resonated with me was we had a small lodge in Tamil. र त्यहाँ गएर चाहिँ त्यहाँ I used to work regularly outside of my day job. I think to first year, that's when the entrepreneur spirit sort of kicked in. It was well. We didn't have money, the young thing, so we had that spirit, and we started putting in some effort there. It fortunately did well. Yeah.
And then, so starting from a small lodge in Tamil, now you have homestay in Patan, Pokhara, Chitwan, a resort in Nawalparasi, and a luxury hotel that's coming up in Thampas. So your subway journey, starting from that small lodge, like you said, was it so passionately गर्दाखेरि नै यो सबै possible भएको हो त?
Passion मात्रै त हैन होला, तर I think that was I think for us हाम्रो लागि that was a big part of यो गर्नु.
Correct.
नेपाल फिर्ता आउनुको challenges हरु हुँदा हुँदै पनि to sort of continue through and push through.
Right.
I think passion was a big part of it.
So Vivek had already started when you
Yep.
got done with your studies,
Yep.
when you got done with journalism.
Yep.
So did you decide, Turunte, that you will come back to Nepal ki, or were you a little skeptical, following your elder brother? Kaste se tapaiko, how did you feel? What were your
I
emotions?
think exactly like you said, there was a bit of skepticism of a baira padi rakhta cha, you see the opportunities there.
Right.
I know about Australia, ma basi rakhta pani, you see a lot of Nepalis there working and studying as well. But I think I came to a point of realization. We stayed 5 years in Australia, बसेपछि चाहिँ अब त्यहाँ काम गर्दा त्यहाँ कमाउँदा त्यहाँ अब नेपाली पासपोर्ट होल्डर भनौँ न भएर त्यहाँ बस्दा चाहिँ it was I saw the challenges there too. And I had the fortunate point where एकचोटि म नेपाल फिर्ता आउँदा चाहिँ I got to travel when I got back. And I got to see what Vivek was doing as well at that time.
Right.
And because I got to see all that, I think I felt the challenges here in Nepal, or the opportunities here in Nepal, are a lot too. And I think it struck me कि अब Nepal also offers a lot for me. And I saw that change, and I had that paradigm shift at that point.
All right.
That's when I decided to come back to
Okay. So we are talking to Vivek and Akash, two brothers who studied outside all their life, were outside of Nepal all their life, but decided to come back and do amazing things in Nepal, in their motherland. So we'll talk more on what businesses they are doing. So don't switch the channel and be back after this break.
Brought to you by
Gokam Russia Zam. 40 जनाले जितेछन् FIFA World Cup हेर्न जाने मौका. Gokam Russia Zam.
Welcome back after that short break, everybody. You're watching Coca-Cola, the evening show at 6 with Sadiksha, and today my guests are brothers duo, Vivek and Akash. So, Nana Hotels and Nana Properties almost started simultaneously, and then the newer venture, the newest venture is Nana Chocolates. And you look after Nana Chocolates and Nana Properties, and you look after Nana Hotels. So, hotels, सुरुवात गर्ने बेलामा होटल सुरुवात गर्ने बेलामा what according to you are the 5 most important things in a hotel?
In a hotel, 5 most important things. We run by saying 7 most important things.
All right.
Yeah, that's how we.
So we can increase that
differentiate
2 more. Yeah.
Yeah, I think essentially, हामीलाई चाहिँ security, safety that you feel in a place, not just physical security, but a sense of security. When you're traveling and you're outside of your comfort zone, I think that's one of the key things. हाम्रो लागि उसमा comfort, cleanliness भइहाल्यो, basic pest-free areas and a smiling face, a greeting face. Nepali hospitality भन्छ नि, famous hospitality. Yeah, so that's another thing that we value. I don't know if I've said many of them, but it's things like that.
So hospitality भयो, a sense of security, and then तपाईहरुको hotel are differentiate. कसरी चाहिँ, what do you think Nana Hotels, how is it different from any other? But Nepalमा पनि especially there are big brands, hotel ko pani big brands who've come in, who've started and who are operating in Nepal. So how do you guys differentiate your hotel from other hotels?
Yeah, I think हामीले चाहिँ we started with this idea कि we wanted to open a hotel for everybody. म सुरुमा आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ एउटा कस्तो स्टिग्मेटाइजेसन थियो, particularly नेपाली गेस्टहरुलाई. नेपालमा आएर नेपाली होटलमा बस्न चाहिँ नेपाली गेस्ट were often the second choice. हैन, विदेशीहरुले राख्थ्यो. On top of that, young people who travel गर्दाखेरि, particularly ladies or women who travel गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ they were hardly Kathmandu, Pokhara, Chitwan छोडेर. A lot of Nepal, it wasn't very safe for them to travel and stay in hotels. So hotels खोल्न चाहिँ, I think big inspiration was opening a place for everybody. सबैजनालाई चाहिँ आएर safe, secure, सफा ठाउँमा चाहिँ across Nepal बस्ने भन्ने. I think that's the vision that we opened Nana with. And I feel like that's where we try to be different. We try to सबैलाई accommodate गर्ने गरेर we try and run our place.
Okay. I mean, like across Nepal, you guys have selected such beautiful properties to make your own hotels. So, kyo property select garda, who has a say, or who decides that okay, we're going to build here, or is it a combined decision? Kasto gari decide garnu huncha?
I think it's generally a combined decision, and it's not always we have our office
Right.
and our team that has a lot of say in it.
All right.
So it's a whole process, I think, khojnu-dekhi, the market research garnu-dekhi. So I think it's a team effort more so than anything.
Selection team-wise
Team-wise
yeah.
And Akash also looks after chocolates, right?
Right, yeah.
So do you ever get bored at your job? I don't.
No, it's
what's
super
your
exciting.
typical day like?
Oh, it's super exciting. I think since we started chocolates, I've tried to be in the kitchen a lot, so that's good. But yeah, mostly I'm in the office. So I like saying a different kind chocolates. I've had to be stationed to the office. But a typical day generally is a little boring for me, but I try to spice up my week by visiting the kitchen often.
Right.
And we experiment with new flavors and new techniques, and we do new packaging. So that's always exciting.
Right.
You know, coming up with
Ani,
different stuff.
when you guys started your chocolate business, what kind of challenges did you guys face, if any? I am sure.
Yeah, there were plenty of challenges. I think to start with the basic things, suppliers or the key quality products. It was difficult. And in Nepali cocoa bhanne, there wasn't such a thing here yet. So that was a big challenge for us. But I think we were lucky enough when we started off to find a really good team who helped us kind of establish the chocolates a bit better. And yet competition for chocolates is quite a lot to it. There are a lot of people doing their own really good work, from design to coming up with really nice flavors. So that was interesting. The competition is quite strong here, yeah.
I think Nepalma yadi general mancherle bujhnu I think a lot of our viewers also don't know that there are so many Nepali chocolate makers who are doing really good, you know, they export outside of Nepal as well, and then they have these huge range of chocolates as well. At the end of the day, there's always competition with an international brand who has a huge marketing budget, who's spending a lot on getting across to consumers of all ages, of all backgrounds. So Nepali chocolate versus international chocolates, have you, what kind of responses did you get? What kind of responses did you get from the customers?
Yeah, I think one of my first experiences was when we called it a Nepali chocolate, because we try to add Nepali flavors to it. One of the first responses people gave us was, oh, it's Nepali, so it must be of poorer quality.
Right.
So that was the general reception of our chocolates in the beginning. But as people tried it, they understood that it was handcrafted, it was made with more care, we put a lot more effort into it, and less preservatives. So I think the quality, it took some time, I think, but
for people to understand
it. But in terms of seeing a Snicker bar or a Nana bar on a shelf, Snickers does look a lot more attractive when you see it. But I think people have this inclination to buy local. So Nepali product kinu bhaneपछि I think people will be excited. Nepali producers like support garu, Nepali try garu. I think everybody has that spirit. So I think that's the good thing about it.
Okay. We're already, I think, in the middle of conversation, but I want to bring it up. Nana chocolates, Nana hotels, and Nana properties, all inspired by your great-grandmother, you know. So the chocolates, maybe she started the business Thiola, and then the hotels, like why your great-grandmother is the inspiration banera is my question.
Because I think our great-grandmother was like everyone else's great-grandmother, you know, they love to feed.
Warm and nice.
Exactly. They love to accommodate, and they listen to you and your nonsense. And feed you sweets. I think that was the driving force for Nana chocolates. So I think she sort of that warmth, that accommodating, that inspirational figure for us throughout.
And I think one of the things that we understand when we say Nana about her, we remember, is her ability to bring people together. So when we're doing so many different things, one thing that always sticks to us is in our family or in the things that we've been involved in, who was the one person that brought everybody together? And it was always Nana. So I think for us, company-wise, team-wise, that spirit is Nana for us.
So in conversation with Vivek and Akash, two brothers who've started their entrepreneurial journey here in Nepal with Nana Chocolates, Nana Hotels, and Nana Properties, I'm having a conversation with them. Don't go anywhere, be back after this break.
Brought to you by
Go come Russia jam. 40 जनाले जितेछन् FIFA World Cup हेर्न जाने मौका. Go come Russia jam.
Hi everyone, welcome back after the break. You're watching Coca-Cola, the evening show at 6, only on Himalaya Television. I'm Sadiksha and I'm talking to the brothers duo, Akash and Vivek. So we've already talked about Nana Hotels, we talked a little about Nana Chocolates, and now Nana Properties. So Nana Properties is basically a company, a real estate company that manages commercial, residential buildings also. And when we're talking behind the camera, that Nana Properties also actually constructed few of the Nana hotels. So what other services do you guys provide? How is it functioning? If our viewers want to know more or want to get in touch with you for their property that they want to they want you guys to manage, how can they contact you?
So we started a while back, but we're available online. So we have a website. That's our main engine. That's how we get our brokerage work going, and that's how they can contact us.
Right.
But our work, it's evolved over the last 2 years. Brokerage when we first came back, Dalal was a bad word here.
Right.
We didn't know it was a bad word.
Brokerage is like the English word for something that's called in Nepal dalali dalal bhaera kaam गर्ने भनेर. And then, like I was saying, the three most essential things for any human being is the gas, bas and kapas, right? So like bas is one of them, and then कुनै पनि मान्छेको घर अथवा properties manage गरिदिने मान्छे, how is that the bad guy when it's actually a lot of hard work, a lot of effort that you guys put in, a lot. I mean, I think from the new laws also, the budget mapping, there are a lot of good let's say policies that they will soon form to make this business more professional, and I think that is also what you guys want to do, and to have a proper professional brokerage system or real estate management system, right? Something more on that line.
So I think, like you said, now we're lucky that that provision is coming along, and I think that's going to be good for real estate here. But when we first started, it was a bit tricky when we got going. There are professional services they're available in Tena. So if you needed to find an apartment or a house, you'd really need to know someone, or you'd need to know the place.
True.
And I think हामीले अहिले सुरु गरेको चाहिँ जुन online platforms छ र हाम्रो agent को जुन services हरु छ हामीले more चाहिँ service focus गर्छौं. So the way you deal with your customers, I think that's the thing that was a little tricky here in Kathmandu. So we've worked on that, and from brokerage, we've come to doing property management. So we have a lot of owners here who have a lot of houses, their families have gone abroad, and they have a lot of properties to be taken care of, and tragically it's left in not such a good condition, even though it's in a very prime location. So in that situation, I think we are there to help. At Tesma, we're always available to say, okay, how can we make that better for you, Banera? So we work for both ends, people looking for houses and people with houses like that need to be taken care of.
So you're the bridge that connects people in need and people who have something to give. When you do you remember any of the first properties that you managed? How is it going? And mancheharule pani, are they a bit skeptical to use your services because कति times त आफैले नगरिकन अरु कोही मान्छेले गरे पनि ला उसले पैसा खाइराछ कि ला राम्रोसँग नगर्देला कि, you know, so many problems and skepticism अलिकति पनि हुन्छ नि त. So did you guys face any such problems in the beginning?
We faced a lot of challenges in the start. I think like you said, trust was the main factor here. If you have a property, you don't really trust someone else to manage it for you. And here in Nepal, the property is even more strong in people's mind. That's your wealth, that's your legacy in a lot of senses. So I think to trust jitna chahi hamle all time lagyo at त्यसमा. We made a lot of mistakes as well, I think, suruma. But I think as people saw how we worked, हाम्रो service जस्तो थियो, हामीले जे commitments हरु fulfill गर्न सक्यौं, त्यो देखेर people started sort of believing in us slowly. Bit by bit we're getting there, I think.
Ani, so we'll talk about the hotels also now. So you're also building a luxury hotel in Thampus, right? So त्यसको planning कस्तो भइरहेछ? How is it going?
It's good. It's in its planning phase. So we're doing the design and all of that work. Thampus, if you've been there, it's a wonderful place.
Not yet, but maybe after the hotel is made.
It's very close to Pokhara. It's got a very different view from Pokhara, but a wonderful view. So we're making a really nice place with a nice spa and all of that.
So what is that luxury in this luxury hotel? Are you calling it luxury hotel or a boutique hotel? You know, what is the difference also basically? Because I really want to know. There are so many hotels that are coming up in Kathmandu also who are boutique hotel, who are luxury hotel. So what differentiates all these different hotels?
Yeah. I don't think we've given it a label yet. We want it to be luxurious, but I think हाम्रो अहिले त्यहाँ main focus चाहिँ we want the Himalayas to come into focus. We want the Gurung Gaon and the whole vibe Thampush has to sort of come into the property. We want it to be sort of a little bit of change from the normal hotels, the stuff you'd get in the cities and stuff like that. So we want that local flavor with that mountain, and that's what we're focused on. We want to give it a bit of a luxury, but we haven't really said it's a luxury.
What kind of luxury?
Yeah.
And I think if anybody gets to sip a cup of tea looking at the mountains, there's already luxury involved in it, right? So I think Nepal is a bit lucky in that way as well. Jati pani hotels, properties, एउटा राम्रो location बनाउन सक्नु भयो भने I think if the view is great, you know, which usually is in Nepal and in around a lot of places in Nepal, I think it definitely brings in that feel of excitement, luxury, relaxation, and hospitality. If it combines with that hotel, then I think it'll be pretty amazing.
The place does half the job for us, doesn't it? Right. We just have to make a place to stay.
All right. We're in conversation with Vivek and Akash, two entrepreneurial brothers who are talking about their entrepreneurial journey of Nana Chocolates, Nana Hotels, and Nana Properties. Go for a short break, but be right back because we'll be talking more with them.
Brought to you by
Come Russia Zam 40 रनले जितेछन् FIFA World Cup हेर्न जाने मौका Come Russia Zam.
Welcome back after that last commercial break. You're watching Coca-Cola, the evening show at 6, only on Himalaya Television. And I am Sidiksha. I'm talking to Vivek and Akash, two entrepreneurial brothers, like I mentioned before. So this particular section of the show, I make them gyan gun ko kurar garcha, you know, what our viewers can get out of this episode, get out of the experiences that you guys have had, you know. So when you first decided to come back, so what was the motivating factor? Because I'm sure there's so many people who are watching our show right now, because our show is live on YouTube as well. So many people, Nepali people especially, I think now are deciding, Nepalma aunda pani huncha ki, Nepalma kasto bhairacha hola? Are there opportunities? Are there more challenges? Is it worth coming back to Nepal bhanne pani? So many students who are studying outside of Nepal have this thought, have this question in their mind. So from someone who actually did come to Nepal and is doing pretty amazing, what would you like to tell them?
I think it's a good time. It's a better time than when I was around to come back to Nepal and do something. You know, I came back doing soul searching, and I've ended up doing this. It's been okay so far. Right? So if you have something that you want to do, something that's worth your time, then I think you should just take that leap. Just do it, and I think the rest will follow. It's been fine for me, as far as my wisdom goes. It's been fine for me, so I'm sure I'll be okay.
And Akash, you studied journalism, right? And then you came back to Nepal, in a way following your brother's footsteps, realizing that there are so many opportunities. And there are many students in Nepal as well, abroad as well, who are you know, studying a particular subject, but they're always thinking, ha, मैले यो particular subject पढेर काम पाउँछु पाउँदिन, पछि मैले काम गर्ने भिन्नै विषयको हुन्छ हुँदैन भनेर. So to all those confused students at the moment, what would you like to tell them?
Well, I think, well, in my short experience of this, I think I'd say having studied something like journalism and coming back to do something completely different, like real estate and chocolates, I'd say learning is the key thing that I've taken from this. I think life ma चाहिँ जहिले पनि सिकिराख्नु पर्छ. And I think जे challenges देखिन्छ. जस्तो म नेपाल फिर्ता आउँदा, I'm sure many people, कति challenging होला, this country it might be difficult. पहिला त load shedding थियो, के थियो, कसरी गर्ने यहाँ भन्ने जस्तो कुरामा चाहिँ I think there are a lot of opportunities in those challenges. अनि फिर्ता आउँदा चाहिँ त्यो it's hard to see from abroad.
Right.
But once you're back in and once you're in the muck of it, I think then you start to see the opportunities that Nepal offers.
All right.
We've been lucky enough to see those opportunities and work with them. So
Right.
that's been good.
I think the saying that the glass is either half empty or half full
Right.
is really true. You know, how you look at a certain situation, certain circumstances, you might see a lot of challenges, but the same challenges for someone might be a lot of opportunities that they can really make money out of or leave a name behind, you know, so many things that they can do. So यत्रो धेरै entrepreneurial business सुरु गर्नु भइसकेपछि यत्रो वर्ष काम गर्नु भइसकेपछि नेपालमा, you know, what have you guys essentially learned, like life lessons? कसैलाई अर्थी उपदेश दिनु पर्यो भने, like this is my message to you, or even to young entrepreneurs who are just starting with their businesses and are maybe facing a lot of problems, what would you like to tell them?
I think, again, like Akash said, हाम्रो short experience मा चाहिँ what I would draw is believing in yourself. Believing in yourself and continuing what you believe in. हैन कहिले पैसा कमाउला, कहिले अलि कम कमाउला, कहिले नकमाउला, but I think the whole idea of believing in yourself and continuing, that will result in something.
Right.
And I've found something that makes you happy. It makes me a little bit more content with myself. And that's what it's really
Matters
about.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And for you?
I think it's pretty much the same thing, but there's a lot of hard work in there too. Like I've seen it with my own brother and my own family, but if you don't put in the hard work, you won't get much out. So I think consistently hard work on a garo chai huncha.
Okay.
I think it'll be challenging, but I think that's what it takes sometimes.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for
Thank
those
you so much.
amazing lines, amazing life lessons that you've learned so far. Thank you so much for coming to my show as well. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers have also really enjoyed the show. I think तपाईहरुले एकदमै राम्रो कुराहरु पनि सुनाउनु भयो हाम्रो viewers-हरुलाई. And to all of you who are really confused on, you know, so many things, I'm sure these two young gentlemen have really hopefully enlightened you a little bit in terms of the opportunities that Nepal has, in terms of the things that you can do here, and a lot more. So thanking you guys for being here with
Thank you for
me
having us.
on my show. I think it's time for us to wrap up now. So thank you all the viewers for being with me this week as well. And I'll see you soon next week.
Brought to you by
Go come Russia Zam! 40 जनाले जितेछन् FIFA World Cup हेर्न जाने मौका. Go come Russia Zam!